SPM Buzz.
Hello, Nas Judy.
Hey,
So tell us your name, full names, what you do, and why you're here today.
so as per the ID, I go by Judy Maina Wamboi. I don't use Wamboi a lot, but for the socials, I use Nas Judy KE, and I'm just a girl from Kariandusi, a village girl who had big dreams, and now I'm a registered nurse in the United States of America.
So tell us, beyond the word, tell us about the event, how it came up, and what do you think you've gotten from today's event?
First of all, I am very excited. I'm very happy. I actually didn't see it turning out the way it has turned out today. It was a very big event. It was so successful. There were about like 180 people who showed up. We have had a lot of fun. So many nurses have left here with so much insights from the speakers, and we are only gonna get bigger and better. This is only the beginning, and it was our first edition, and being a success, it means a lot to me. I came up with this event because so many nurses have been facing challenges in the country because there are no job opportunities. So I decided if we do this event and we can share the challenges that they are going through, and I can give them the insights of how to navigate the US, is going to go a long way. I interact with them a lot on my social media, especially on the Instagram, and I see the many questions they ask on Instagram. So I decided, instead of doing just a meet and greet, why not do something that is going to be very impactful to the nursing community and in healthcare, the healthcare community at large. And also, we actually had also people who came here. They're not nurses, but because they have been following me ahead, they have been inspired and they have been motivated. They came here so they can learn something and probably also venture into nursing. So it is a success, and I would like to give a big thank you to my husband for being very supportive during this process. It wasn't easy. I was very anxious, but he was helping me a lot to calm down. He was taking care of things here and there. And also a big shout out to my PA and Cynthia for dealing with the logistics here and there. And we made this day a success. I am so proud of myself. I need to give myself flowers. I have been given flowers by people here. They are happy. They said it was totally worth it, and I'm happy that it was worth it for them.
Congratulations. So, a bit of what you are trying to help the nurses with. Can you tell us just maybe sample of those kind of areas that you're trying to help them handle?
Mostly because nurses are trying to leave the country to look for better opportunities. So I'm trying to help them with how to go about the process, because it can be a complex a process, how to go about like verifying your documents from here to the US. So mostly, even my content on Instagram, I usually help them with the step-by-step guide of how you can relocate from here as a nurse. And when you go there, because most people don't even know like our nursing in Kenya is recognized internationally, so I just create a pathway and show them which is the step to take for you to be able to go and practice there as a nurse. So I share a lot of insight about that, like which are the documents, which are the steps, what do you need to do next, and stuff like that. And also for those who are already in the process, I help them with, when you get there, unatengeneza pesa aje, because moving from here to there is one thing, and also navigating there and be successful, it's another thing. So because I have gone through the journey myself and the challenges that I went through, mi sikwangia wale watu wa kama nimeteseka nataka pia ukuje uteseke. So I'm trying to create awareness and to do away with those we have been in those phases where there's a lot of gatekeeping. Watu wako wanajua like hii process venye nafanyikanga. So I'm trying to create awareness how you can do this process either by an agency, or if you don't get an opportunity with an agency, how you can do it yourself. And I even offer guidance to so many nurses. But now I think I have done like over 50 nurses like who are doing the self-sponsored process. I have helped them because once you do the process, since I'm already based there and I know the hospitals that get nurses, give green card sponsorship for nurses, I have my network there, so I'm helping so many of them who have not gotten a chance to do the process with the agency. Yeah.
So you've probably gotten a lot of DMs and maybe phone calls from some of the Kenyan nurses, upcoming nurses that are trying to get to where you are. So tell us, how is that? Because you also get stories of how difficult it is, maybe even to work here, because you've been a nurse here too.
Yes, yeah.
So tell us a bit of that in terms of the kind of mental torture you have to also go through in terms of helping people to get there, people who are trying as much as possible even to get, maybe they're having difficulties with their families, and they're hoping that this can be an opportunity for them to maybe take kuwatoa kwa block. So yeah, so tell us a bit of that, and in terms of how many maybe people you've been able to talk to and maybe encourage in terms of just ensuring that the transition from here to there, and also make it like you have.
Okay, so currently, like I've just mentioned, I have the people who have gone through in my hands to help them the process. They're about over 150. I don't have the exact number. My PA would probably have helped me with that, but I am sure there are over 50 now, and there are still people who are in the process, but successfully, watu wenye nimeguide na wakaweza go through the process, they did their NCLEX, and I already got them the hospital to do their green card sponsorship. But kidogo sahizi, they have been affected by something called retrogression, so it's like iko stagnant kidogo. It's usually not like a permanent thing. It goes on for like a year or slightly, and then once it's back to normal, they're gonna start moving. So retrogression, basically, it's like nika visa zimeisha za ku give out to people. So once they start producing visas, process yao inaenda. But so far I have been able to help so many people get their green card sponsorship from the network I have from the hospital. And personally, last year I opened a company for staffing. For now, I'm staffing nurses who are already in the United States, but I plan to make it bigger to help them like come to the US and even sponsor in terms of finances. So I talk to the hospitals, they help me do the process for the nurses, even financially. Because you see, when they're in Kenya, it can be a bit costly, the process. It costs over, okay, right now, the costs have significantly reduced because we have the NCLEX Center in Kenya. Before that, we used to go to South Africa or India, and that means you have to pay for the ticket, for air ticket and the hotel for like 3 days. So that used to make it over and above what is costing now. But for now, it's like about 1,000 USD if you're doing the self-sponsored process. But I also want to help them in that, even that 1,000 US, they don't have to cater for themselves. So I'm working with a couple of hospitals so that I can have that sponsorship for the nurses. Mazema nurses wanateseka hapa. There are so many people who DM and tell me it's been 3 months in government hospital, haven't been paid. And that's why I'm very motivated. I'm very vocal about sharing this process, how they can live here and go where you are appreciated. You know, like I worked here, and I know sometimes unajituma and you work for like 4 years and you have nothing to show for it. Pale America, it's been only 3 years and I have a lot to show for it. Yani hapa, you have to work for like 5, 10, 15 years for you to feel like now you're earning decent money. There, within 1 year, you kupata experience, and then unajua maujanja hapa. I have shared with them the tips of how like you can navigate to make more money. Because utaki kwenda US, you have all the opportunity, but you don't know how to do it. So I have shared with them a lot today how they can make the most of it when they get there. So yeah, that's basically much.
Okay, so it also comes with maybe the mental toughness that maybe one has to have, like you moving away from your family and all. You know, it's not also easy because you're leaving a family now in Tanzania. Yeah. So tell us a bit about that and how you navigate through that. We've seen videos of you coming to the airport, shedding tears, and before even before you step down from the plane, you know, it's not easy. So tell us a bit about that.
Okay, for me it's been tough because my process was different. Initially I had started with an agency, but I ended up using my visit visa to go there. So when I got my green card, my family didn't get green card at the same time. But when you do the process from here, you file together with your family, you get the green card at the same time. So for me, because I used a visit visa to change it to a green card, that's why it's taking a bit of time to get my family over there. But for most nurses, when you file from here, you get the green cards for everybody you filed under you. So you live at the same time. But also there are challenges. Even when you move with your family from here to there are still challenges, like the culture is different, the food is different, you know, there's racism, there's all this. If you go in a state where it is white dominated, you're gonna experience mpaka unasikia hapa ni kama nili mess up, you know. But with time, you get to navigate and know which are the best states to stay in, and you don't experience. And then once you form a community, once in a while, of course, it never goes away because the culture and the food, we always miss Kenya. Acha nikwambia kama si pesa, we love it here. Ni venye huku we don't have the opportunity, and pesa ni kidogo sana, tunanyanyaswa. And then the best thing about America, they respect us so much, want to recognize. Here it's usually like nursing is perceived is for like, we umeanguka form 4 sawa basi ingia nursing, but in America it's a big deal. It's considered like a very high level career, and even in terms of pay, it's one of the most paying job na IT na sasa medicine, doctors. But here in the country, man, it's tricky. To say many tricky. Yes, there's a lot of workload. You don't have support like in the United States. I don't even remember the last time I gave a bed bath. I'm a bed making. Those are the things that are delegated to people who we call certified nursing assistant. When I was working here, I never used to have that. Ni mimi niingie, nianze bed bath, nianze bed making. By the time nafanya madawa, it's too late. The patients are complaining, you are in pain. But you see there, now it helps with the workload in a reduced kidogo. And see, at the end of the day, the pay you get. Plus, you see, like when I was here, I used to be very hardworking. I used to do locums, na take extra shift. But still at the end of the day, unapata hata sifikshi 150K. If I apply the same effort in America, I am able to achieve a lot within a short span. Like kuna vitu zenye siko nimeweza kufanya huku, like I have bought an Airbnb, I have bought a piece of land. That is something I would never have been able to achieve here. Maybe sasa niringe na vitu za my husband, but my very own, with a nursing job in Kenya, I would never have been able. I am not kidding you. I even have a mentor who has worked here for like 12 years, and then she moved. She used to tell me, I worked for 12 years as a nurse. I was a senior nurse, and I still, by the time I was leaving, I had nothing to show for it. Within 1 to 2 years, she had a lot to show for it. And then there are so many opportunities. Come on, me already in my open company. I'm planning to venture into another business. Yeah, you can start an aged care home, you can start a disability care home. Especially your disability, it's usually good because it's tax free. Pale America tupendi taxes. You can make a lot of money, love taxes. Uncle Sam anakuja na kuslash. So you open your mind a lot. You usijibox to ati just picking shift. Hiyo tu ni saa zile umefika, it's like something to stabilize you because it's still gonna give you a lot of money. But once you stabilize umejua your network and all that, now you can start diversing to other things. Kama me, basically nime venture into staffing, which is lucrative, and now I'm planning to add another thing, which is like the aged care home. I'm a disability. I'm still yet to decide, but both of them are very lucrative. So kuna plenty of opportunity. You just don't have to work like one job like this. Plenty of opportunity. And then ina equalize kila mtu sana. Hata ukienda pale when as CNA, you still able to lead a very decent lifestyle. Yeah.
So do you maybe have people who are maybe in your field, especially in nursing, who are not happy with whatever that you're doing? Maybe unajaribu kuchafua market, mtu anasema na Judy manze, sasa umeanza unachoma manze, umeanza kuwepea watu siri, because you also get that from the people who stay in America. Maybe wanaenda kwa family and they don't even want them to be there. So tell us a bit, do you get stuff like that?
A lot. Akosha alikuwa uliza utamaliza saa ngapi nijibu hiyo, because the very first time I started sharing about my pay slip, I got a bit of backlash. So wengine walikuwa nasema una brag, but purely my intentions were to show the nurses, can you imagine this is what you are worth in this country? But people are different. Some were motivated and inspired, but also a good percentage were feeling like, you're bragging. And those who are in the US, because they're used to gatekeeping, wana feel, umekuja hapa, it's only been 1 year, uko na kiherehere, sasa sijui unapata pesa kidogo, unaanza kuringia what you know. I got that a lot, but I never gave up because I know my goals, I know my mission, and I know why exactly I'm sharing that. If it was just about bragging, I would have stopped completely from just that backlash. But because I know there are people I'm inspiring, I've continued. The noise doesn't stop me from doing that, but yes, I get a lot of that backlash. Watu wako US kwanza wanaona huyu amekuja hapa kiherehere tu, and then US, the Kenyan community hatuyuko very warm with each other. They want when you come there, especially kama mtu aliteseka, anataka ukifika pia wewe uteseke. Sasa kama uteseki inaleta friction sana. So that's why mostly I get negative backlash from the people, the Kenyans in the US. Yeah.
And maybe my final question is, when it comes to Mao, the people that you take care of your patients, I think you shared a story whereby you said one of your patients was not happy with maybe how you did your job, or maybe they weren't, you mentioned racism at first. So tell us a bit, do you get those kind of situations?
Yeah, I've gotten them. They're not as many, but because of racism. But because of racism, sometimes I get a few cases where you'll get somebody saying, "Oh, I don't want that black nurse serving me," or they will just some it's subtle. Some they will say directly. So and some will just treat you badly. Like that time when I made a video, it was just an overwhelming day. It was the patient who is complaining. Anywhere you have done your best, but because they don't like you because of your color, and especially it's always gonna be the color, but because they don't want to say it's because of your color, they will come up with things here and there. Well, deep down you have given your best. So I get it a lot. Initially, it used to affect me mpaka because I'm used to like patients being happy with my care, and then I'm coming to this country because of racism. Now kidogo nasikia huyu patient amecomplain. So before it clicked like it's something entangled in racism, it was like I would get home and I'm like, yo, I did my best, but this person is trying to pin me like I'm a bad nurse. So that's something that you have to get used to. So I get a bit racism kidogo. Some is subtle, some is direct. They'll just say, no, I don't want that black nurse taking care of me. But when they say that, I'm saying, okay. I have learned how to move on and not keep it in my head, because as long as I know I'm giving my best, then yeah.
Okay, so in regards to your husband, mentioned venye anakusupport even in this event, but that is not the only time he supports you, even with your family, you being away and him having to take care of the kids. Tell us a bit about that. How do you feel when he does all that for you?
Oh my God, is there a word that I can use to describe that? Because I keep talking about that over and over on my Instagram. Mpaka watu wanaona ni kama I am obsessed with praising my husband. And especially because some people say, oh, why are you praising him for what he's supposed to be doing as a dad? But you see, not many men unaweza toka went out of the country and they take that full responsibility. My husband is the kind of a person, hata akijaribu kwenda kuwatch game na kunywa drink moja, he feels guilty because I'm away, so he wants to be present always because anacompensate mpaka hiyo mimi absence yangu. So that really makes me feel like even being away, he makes it so bearable. Si feel ka watoto wana mom hayuko, tena the dad is the type maybe always not there. So he's really come through with that. He takes good care, he's intentional, and then my kids love him so much. So he's a blessing to me, especially having to be in a different country and leaving my kids, having somebody who can support them, they feel loved and they feel cared for. It makes it bearable. So the only challenge is that like my daughter is growing and she needs my guidance. There are things that she's comfortable telling me more than the dad, but with the generation of virtual technology, so it makes it easy, but still nothing would ever replace that presence. So we are really hoping kabisa the visa process for them goes through so that we can be together finally. Yeah.
A message to the nurses that turned up today to attend an upgrade.
Hey, I am even speechless. I walked into a venue full of nurses who were just screaming to see me. I didn't even think like they have so much love for me like that. They tell me in the DMs, but sometimes even they're telling you with the pseudo accounts. Now you're seeing like physical people here shouting and screaming and being happy to see you. That was already something that I don't know. I don't even have a word for it. But thank you so much for coming. Thank you for showing up. And I hope you have enjoyed. Those who gave me feedback before you left, I really appreciate. And I hope we're going to get a bigger and better edition next time. This is just the beginning. It's the first edition. We're going to have the second and third and fourth. And we're even going to do it differently and better. Thank you so much. If you're in the process, I know it can be challenging, but don't give up. It's going to be worth it at the end. Yes.
SPM Buzz.